consultations with experts and stakeholders are on. What does that mean? What is the ambit of these consultations? Are we talking about opposition leaders and civil society bodies also being part of these consultations?
Well, we are not clear about what the consultation process is or who the Government of India is consulting, because none of this was disclosed in the court today. But the government says that they are in a process of consultation with experts. Now, who these experts are, I don't know. This is strictly being kept confidential because no comments have been invited by the Government of India from the members of the civil society or the common citizens. Generally, which is the case we see whenever a new law is floated or a new law is to be legislated, a consultation, a wide consultation process takes place where a draft of the bill is released, comments are invited from the members of the society asking for their comments, whether they agree, if something else needs to be done, what needs to be tinkered, what riders need to be placed, so on and so forth. But as far as sedition is concerned, clearly we don't know what it is, but the government is very clear in its head. The government believes, because a year back a similar statement was made in the Supreme Court, where the government said that yes, we believe that this law is being abused. There has something to be done about it in terms of either reading it down, reading section 124A down, or introducing some safeguards. And at that point of time, the Attorney General for India, Mr. K.K. Venugopal, said that it would be wise that this law is not struck down, but instead some riders are placed within the law to make sure that this law is not being misused.
So let me ask you this final question. You're saying all indications point in the direction that the law is highly unlikely to be repealed, it could be read down, and there could be safeguards built in. Now, when this amended bill is brought in Parliament, how do you think the opposition is likely to react? Is it likely to become another flashpoint between the government and the opposition? One fact is very interesting, Ashok, and you might agree with me on this, that every time a political party is in the opposition, they go hammer and tongs criticizing the government of the day over misuse of sedition and saying it must be done away with. However, when the same party comes to power, they refuse to let go of this law.
You're right. And in fact, let me point out at least two incidents that will bring out the situation or highlight how this particular law has been misused. You see, in 2011, the Tamil Nadu government slapped sedition charges against 9,000 people in one go. Why? Because they were protesting against the Kudankulam nuclear power project. Now, the villagers in that village did not want this nuclear power project to come up because they feared that a mishap could happen and there could be a nuclear fallout due to it. Similarly, again in 2016, there was this Pathalgadi movement which was going on in the state of Jharkhand. 7,000 people again slapped for sedition charges in single go. And in both these states at that point in time had non-BJP governments. Okay. As far as Jharkhand is concerned, at that point in time, there was the BJP government and Hemant Soren rode on the promise, on the electoral promise that at the moment he comes back, he'll revoke the sedition cases. But he's been in power for the last 3-4 years and nothing has happened.
They obviously forget about those promises. I think one thing we can safely say is whether it is Congress-led UPA governments that we've had at the centre or BJP-led NDA governments, all political parties and governments are equally guilty of misusing this law. Therefore, really, we need, there's always been this debate about whether the judiciary needs to take a view on this, but at the moment, clearly the ball is in the court of the government. This bill will be introduced in Parliament. We'll wait and see how this pans out.